The Fundamentals of Postiche by Kim Anderson. The picture you can see here is of James I, the King of Scotland. Introduction. How the upper echelon wore their facial in the 17th century was known as the Van Dyck beard. The 17th century high-class male was instantly recognisable by this facial hairstyle. In this presentation, I will be exploring the links with different theories and a pest analysis. And here we have a picture of Sir Anthony Van Dyck. The political thought at this time. King James I ruled between 1603 and 1625. It was an era full of turmoil between the king and parliament due to the king's rebellious ways. He was not good with finances at all, which parliament were quite appalled by. James I was the son of Mary, Queen of Scots. He had been King of Scotland for 36 years when he became King of England. King James I had a distinctive moustache and goatee-type beard that influenced others, even in other countries, including France. The character D'Artagnan, who was actually a real person, and the inspiration behind the black author Alexander Dumas' Three Musketeers, an adventure novel written in 1844, sported this beard. This gives credence to the trickle-down theory, because King James' son was Charles I, who argued over power with Parliament. He went against the Protestant cause. This then led to the Irish Revolution and consequently the English Civil War. King Charles I admired the painter Van Dyck so much he knighted him and commissioned him to paint the royals of the time. He also sported the same facial hair style of the king, and it was Van Dyck, a painter, had influenced the facial hairstyle of the king. This incorporates the bubble-up theory. As Van Dyck had influenced the king, by the end of the 17th century it was all over for the beard, as shaving had come back in style. The economical climate. Most people in this time were half-starved, as food prices were astronomical. In 1623, parts of England were struck by a major famine. The way people looked could distinguish very easily what class they were from. While the poor were starving and unwashed, the rich men in society were spending money on their hair and the way they looked, marking them out as more socially acceptable. Social factors. The name Renaissance man was the name given to these upper-class men who wore a ruff, a doublet and hose, and a beard style like Van Dyck. Men such as poets like Shakespeare in the 16th and 17th century. A beard symbolises masculinity in Shakespeare's plays, and this influenced the males of the time, supporting the trickle-down theory. Technology in the 1600s was predominantly shipbuilding. This was the technology of the age. In fact, the last play of Shakespeare's, The Tempest, was based on the story of the Prince Royal ship, it is now thought. Phineas Pett, who had the Van Dyck beard style, kept a journal in which he describes the launch of the ship amongst crowds of onlookers and how he believed his enemies had conjured up a storm to wreck the ship. The launch of the Prince Royal was the 25th of September 1610, and at its launch there was a storm. The Van Dyck beard is a moustache and chin beard. It is based on the famous painter Anthony Van Dyck. I have chosen to recreate this look. I have produced a goatee and a beard for film and TV using 30 denier lace. I followed the natural pattern of growth while knotting, using more spaces around the nose area where the hair is more sparse, and then using closer together spaces as the hair grows more dense. For TV and film, it is important to use lower denier because of the HD quality of the film picking up every flaw. The budget. I use jack hair for my moustache and beard. The hair is thick and very durable. It is recommended for its longevity and is the most like human hair. It usually is a mix of colours. To look more natural, I used mostly brown with a slight mix of black and grey to recreate the look of the age of the person of the time. The theory. Trickle-down theory is when it starts at the upper class, then it goes to the upper middle class, and then it goes middle class, lower middle class, and then lower class. And then bubble-up theory starts in the lower class. It's adopted from the streets, urban, it's like urban. The middle class and upper class copied the style. I have an example. Punk rock started in the working class and it bubbled up to the upper classes. This is a picture that I tried to draw of the, as you can see here, the hair growth, how the hair grows on a moustache and a beard. And there we have the references. So this is the final postiche piece that I've done. If you can see the sides of and how it's on the side. I tried to recreate the look of the twisted moustache going upwards. Also Guy Fawkes is another person, a famous person at that time, that was also sporting this look. And I used Percy Norman's moustache wax, which I found to be very beneficial to this, to try and get it looking how they would have had it in this particular time. So that's everything. Thank you.